Neck, and believe it or not, we have come to almost the end of 2019 and about to enter a new decade. This is a period when most people, they are usually most mixed emotions. So one, if your year has been really so upbeat and you have major milestones, you're also excited and can't wait to hit the next year. And if you're kind of like, I didn't do as well as I had expected or planned, you kind of feel a bit sad that you're not as successful in achieving the goals that you set. However, it's a new year, a brand new notebook is been given to you to create the year that you've imagined. And so what happens in January is that most people get all excited with New Year resolutions. That's when gym memberships go up, dieting plans kick in, that yes, I'm going to be a fitter me and all of that. But what most people don't do, apart from the New Year resolutions, is actually taking time out to review and reflect on the year that is about to end before planning the next year. And that's what some of these things I'm going to share with you today. Up until several years ago, probably about 5 to 8 years ago, I was also in that category. I will jump into January, New Year resolutions. I plan to do this. And guess what? By February or so, you kind of just forgotten all that. And it's really when I took personal development really seriously and saw really how one is able to really grow and move from kind of where they are to where you want to be. So I'm really extremely passionate about that. Anyhow, so reviewing and reflecting on 2019, it's so important. I love what Socrates said, that the unexamined life is not worth living. And truly, if you do not take time out to examine and kind of review and reflect on what transpired in that year, the good, the bad, and the ugly, you're not able to learn from the mistakes and the awareness you've developed or you've gained, and actually incorporate that into your planning for the next year. Interestingly, a couple of months ago, I was coaching a friend of mine, and I asked him some questions. And really, he wasn't able to answer them because he had not trained his brain muscles to go that deep in thinking about things that relate to his life. Everybody's also busy and don't do that. So some of the questions I'm going to encourage you to ask yourself as you wrap up this year are some pretty deep questions that you may not have done that before, but there's always a first start. I do have several questions, probably over 30, that I usually ask myself, and I'd like to share that with you. Obviously, I cannot go through all of that in this video, so if you're interested in that, just send me a direct message with your email address or in the note below, in the comment below, and I will gladly share them with you. It's totally revolutionized my planning process for the year. So but I will share a few of them with you. A few of them include, was I congruent with the person that I know that I should and could have been in this year? And what is that about? It's about, you have your plan, this is what I'm going to be, or this is what I'm going to do. But what did I really align with that? Circumstances happen and you really forget those things. So just asking yourself that. How did I challenge myself this year? You're only able to grow when you're operating outside of your comfort zone. And that has to do with challenges. So asking yourself, did I challenge myself? And it's not just a yes or no, but it's also asking why. So all of these questions I'm going to share with you is also about asking myself, why did I or did I not do that? What was my most important goal in 2019? And did I achieve that? How did I grow emotionally? And these are deep questions that if you're not able to ask yourself, then you really are not really examining your life. And really, there's really no growth. As a person of faith, I ask myself, how did I grow spiritually? What were the gaps? What could I have done differently? What were other accomplishments? So these are the good ones that make you really happy for the things that you've done. Interestingly, you may have forgotten some of these things. And that's why if you don't keep a journal, I'm going to suggest or encourage you to do that, because you're able to go back and kind of look at those things that you may have forgotten. Then what positive habits did I pick up that I want to continue? And what negative habit did I drop and why? Going back, so another question is that if you went back, if you could go back to the beginning of the year, what would you do differently? And why would you do that differently? Because obviously, as the time goes, you grow in your awareness, you grow in your experience, and you would say, oh, I could have done this differently. Then what are the 3 words that sum up your year? What were they? Just 3 words. So essentially summarizing your whole year in 3 words, 3 keywords, and why was that? And so by the time you have picked up, I'm sharing probably about 8 or 10 questions, but as I said, I have over 30 of them, and I would love to share them with you. Just send me your email address and I will send that out to you. So when you're able to do that, that begins to form, you get to know yourself better and begin to then incorporate this into your next year planning. And that is actually item number 2 of what I typically do. There's item number 1, number 2, and number 3. And then you get into the new year feeling more in charge, having learned the lessons of the previous year. And you know what? Yes, it's all good to have achieved your goals, but you're able to learn better through the learnings that you've identified. They usually say experience is the best teacher. I would say evaluated experience, well, as my mentor would say, evaluated experience is the best teacher. So that doesn't become a good, you're not able to learn from that if you do not take this time to review and reflect on that, such that your next year can even be much better in terms of achieving the goals that you've set for yourself in the following year. So I hope these few thoughts that I've shared with you have been insightful. If they have been, I would like you to tag a friend for your friend to watch this. And I also like to hear your comments. So also send me an email to let me know your thoughts and what else you want me to talk about, to share with you as the year progresses. I have some exciting programs I'm going to share with you in 2020 as the months come along. So I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. It's going to be really exciting, but obviously even more exciting for those who are intentional about it and also prepared to ensure that their new year is what they desire for it to be. So while you're endeavoring to be successful, also remember to make it a significant life, to make your life significant, to make your life count. Until then, take very good care of yourself.